Okay, so went ahead and fixed up the Starshine Les Paul thing, and it really didn't take as much work as I thought it would. There wasn't really much issue with the fret ends like I thought. It was more just a bad roundover job, sort of. They just sort of did it quick in the factory, which I get because it's not an expensive guitar, so you got to kind of rush through these things. But a little bit of filing and some sanding and some polishing, and it was kind of ready to go. I had to hammer down a couple frets that were a little high, but no real fret job to it. And I went digging through one of my old guitars because I was like, man, I'm just going to put any old pickup in here that I've got laying around. And I remembered a Kramer that we did a while back that we bought distortions for, Seymour Duncan distortions. And so I grabbed it out of there. And I looked on the back and the sticker said DDL. So I guess they're an older model distortion. Kind of got lucky there. But with a little quick research I did on Adam Jones again, because like I say, I just don't know much about the guy. But apparently he liked to use Seymour Duncan DDL distortions. He called it super distortion, but Duncan doesn't make a super distortion. DiMarzio does. So, but he said DDL, so that's what we got. So I've got one of those in there that I just happen to have laying around. I went ahead and shielded the cavities, and I left the neck pickup. It doesn't sound good, but I don't use it, so whatever. Other than that, it plays like a champ. I did have to restrung it with some 10 to 52s, and I had to raise up the tailpiece. I don't know if anyone's familiar with doing a wrap, what do they call it? Not wrap around, but you know, where they wrap the strings over the top of the tailpiece. I think it's kind of like a Zakk Wylde thing. And I've had some guitars that works well on and some that don't. But I found out that this one felt a little bit stiff. So I raised the tailpiece up and it kind of gave a little bit more play in the string. So whenever I feel like blowing another $10 on a pack of strings, since I've already cut them unfortunately, I'll restring it and do a wraparound and bring this tailpiece back down. But if you have one, play around with that. That kind of helps give it sort of a slinkier feel. So that's kind of cool. And what else did we do? Oh, I found out that it had push-pull knobs for the pickups on the 2 volume controls. So you could do like, I guess, split coil or out of phase, something like that. It doesn't sound great, but the fact that they went that far, or they just had those leftover pots, I don't know. But it was kind of cool. I left them in there. I hadn't changed the pots or anything. I might do that later. But I don't use it because it sounds really honky and weird upper mid-range thing. So I'm not going to do that. So anyway, this thing plays great, sounds great. I'm going to play it through the Diesel Herbert. I'm going to use channel 2, maybe some channel 3. There's some settings. Mid-cut's engaged. Intensity's down a little bit. And whatnot. And I'm going to go ahead and use a tube screamer, because that's what you do, right? And I'm running through the Ampeg 4x12, miking up a Vintage 30 with an SM57. And yeah, we'll go with that. Hang tight. Alright, so that's cool, right? Anyway, let me know what you thought, if I should have done something different. I did not use the amp that came with it. I just can't make that thing do anything I want to hear. So, yeah. Oh yeah, how do you like the diesel? Anyway, later.